My natural hair is 4C. I feel like as a light-skinned black woman, I don't fit the beauty standard because of the texture of my hair. Like, I would like to speak on something. I know it can be like a touchy subject, but I want to talk about this because this is a struggle that I have had with my confidence ever since I can remember.
Okay.
I am a very confident person, but the one thing I'm insecure about is my natural hair. Like, I feel like my natural hair is 4C. Like, it's coily, okay? And it shrinks so bad. And I've been getting relaxers ever since I was a child. I went natural for a couple of years, and I just could not bring myself to be comfortable with my natural hair. And I just feel like, especially like within our community, obviously there's texturism, but I also feel like, this is gonna sound so like kind of privileged, but I don't have to say it, but I just struggle with this. I feel like as a light-skinned black woman, I don't fit the beauty standard because of the texture of my hair. Like, I just don't feel confident when I wear my natural hair texture. Like, I don't at all. So I've always gotten relaxers, and I've always worn my hair in protective styles. Obviously, I know that's detrimental to think, and I know it's detrimental to our community, and it's a very privileged thing to say in comparison to the problems that brown skin and darker skinned women have to go through. I'm very aware of that. That's just one of my personal struggles, and I just wanted to say that because, yeah, texturism.
That's a thing.
This girl really out here crying because she has 4C hair and she's light skinned.
Mm-hmm.
And saying she feel like she don't fit into the typical light skin category because her hair.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Talking about, oh, I know how dark skins feel because I'm light skinned and I have 4C hair and I don't feel beautiful. Oh my god, wrap it up. Y'all are so annoying. Like, on my mama.
Okay. I have been seeing a lot of videos on my For You page discussing the Nina Simone hair texture video. And I don't know if I'm going to post this video. It might not make it on the drafts because I'm a little nervous about posting this because obviously I am someone who has both light skin privilege and also hair privilege. But I have to tell you, as someone who is biracial and as someone who changed her hair curl pattern, so that is how I am coming to you. I am just coming to you from my experience as someone who is lighter skinned and as someone who had a tighter curl pattern and transitioned to a looser curl pattern. My life changed when my hair changed. And I think that is the more important conversation to have here because people shouldn't have like completely different lives because their hair is a little less curly. Like, that is insane.
That's the reality.
And I think it's something that we need to discuss and talk about more and figure out how do we deconstruct these very toxic ideals that can actually impact people's quality of life.
So really quickly, as a light skin with 4C hair, I really wanted to share my experience. Like, when what I truly thought is that since I was light skinned, you know, my hair would magically be 1A. And since skin color directly correlates to hair texture, I was like, it was baffling to me. Like, how did I not get the light skin experience? Like, I thought we magically got 1A to 2A hair. And it was very hard for me. Like, I know others in the light skin community, and they completely understand where I'm coming from. Because the other light skins all have 1A. And they're like, oh, you're that light skin. So that's just like, that like really got to me. Because like, I've never been judged, you know, like myself. Because like in my head, I have 1A down my back. Like, it's a full-on weave. But like in reality, it's 4C. Like, and being light skinned, this is so hard for me. Like, oh my God. There's a light-skinned woman with 4C hair that came on this app lamenting that she is not the beauty standard because she has 4C hair. And while I do not think she deserves the hate she's getting, I do think that the proper response to her post is small eye, big eye, oh brother. Because while she accurately identifies that there is texturism in the Black community, she doesn't seem nearly as perturbed with the colorism in the Black community because she's benefiting from that. Like, why she believes she even deserves to be the beauty standard, unless we clear the woman is beautiful and sickening. But why she feels like she deserves to be is because she's fair-skinned. And she even says, like, let's admit it, and she's right. We do put fair-skinned, light-skinned people up on a pedestal. But that doesn't seem to bother you nearly as much. Now, she did admit she's on her journey to love her hair, and I love that for her. And I think if the conversation was more around, like, oh my God, I am so stunning and so sickening, but I'm getting these, like, societal pressures about my hair, then I think we would have had time for it. But as a dark-skinned woman with kinky hair, who has a sister who everyone says I look like, but is lighter than me and has softer texture hair than me, so I was always told that I was never as pretty as her. Not by my family, we don't do that. But by society, I really don't want to hear light-skin lamentations. I don't. If we want to solve the issues in the Black community, I do not think that the light-skinned person should be at the forefront of why it needs to be solved. So your lamentations of not being the beauty standard, yeah, get in line, girl. Get in line.
Okay.
Get in line. Because I watch women who look like me boost up women who are fair-skinned with soft hair, and sometimes I'd be like, you only think she's pretty because she has curly hair. Like, the Felicity effect. If she shaved her hair, she wouldn't be as pretty anymore. So just say, I like her hair. Like, you can admit that you like someone's features, and they don't have to be the bastion of beauty. It's giving Slim Kim, like, yes, she's accurately clocking the message that society delivers to her and to us, but also, girl, like, hush. She doesn't deserve the hate, but it is a deep sigh eye roll.
Hear about is my natural hair. Like, I feel
You know, I figured out why this video pisses me off. Do you know what? Her experience is her experience, and no one can take that away from her. But the way in which people say things can be very coded, okay? It can have so much subtext in it that you actually have to pick it apart to really hear what they're saying. What I got from her video is her complaining about how her 4C hair doesn't match her light-skinnedness. And as a Black woman with 4C hair myself, who is dark-skinned, I'm like, so who is 4C hair meant to match? It's kind of the same problematic rhetoric that people have when it comes to biracial women who are mixed with white and Black, and they're like, oh, what a waste of a biracial, just because she has 4C hair, like Doja Cat. I don't think people understand that when they say stuff like that, and stuff like what she said in her video, it actually sounds like, hey, 4C hair is so ugly and undesirable that it deserves to be paired with something as equally ugly and undesirable, like dark skin. 4C hair, dark skin, that's how it goes, right? Because that video is also giving, I'm light-skinned, I deserve the good hair. And she keeps throwing around buzzwords like hair texturism, but she has literally unpacked nothing, and instead keeps on reinforcing the very same hair texturism and colorism that she claims to be against. Do you understand how out of touch you have to be to come on the internet and talk about how you're so insecure as a light-skinned babe because you weren't born with 3C curls? That's essentially the underlying message of the video.
True.
Like,
so I know y'all all saw that girl talking about the 4C hair texture and how she's light-skinned and she can't believe she has that hair texture. And this is my take on it. I really honestly believe that a lot of light-skinned girls, women, they have to have it all, or else it just bothers them. They're just like, oh, I know I'm pretty, but my hair, I mean, it could be part of my, like, what part of your what? How could you possibly get any more accolades in life? You ain't got enough. Don't you have enough? That's really my summary on her, because she says that she's a confident person. I feel like my natural hair is 4C and it shrinks so bad, right? She's been getting relaxed ever since she was a child, and I don't fit the beauty standard because of the texture of my hair. So that is what I was saying. Like, it's like a win-all situation. She's like, I'm already winning in the face card department. I need to be winning in the hair too. And it's so corny, but I'm gonna let her be. A lot of us have perpetuated this stereotype. We think light skin is a package deal. When I was little, the best example I could give you was of Ashley and Hillary Banks. I would assume that Ashley would have had the more kinkier or coily texture of hair, and Hillary would have had the looser texture hair. Look at them now, and Hillary clearly has an Afro texture hair, and Tatiana's is loose. So what the girl was saying in that video, I completely understand. I just think it is a shame that I do get it, and I got it, and I just do not think it's good.
I feel like as a light-skinned black woman, I don't fit the beauty standard because of the texture of my hair. I just don't feel confident when I wear my natural hair texture.
The girlies did not like this one, okay? But I'm gonna give y'all perspective. We know colorism is a thing, but texturism is also a thing.
Yeah.
She feels inadequate. Not saying, girl, grit a grip, but she feels inadequate, which is relatable to a lot of black women because of the texture of her hair. It says that she's not mixed. Whole while her face is screaming, what? Exotic, biracial. You know, she has that look that a lot of women be trying to have because they feel like it's more desirable within the black community, especially. We know how black people hold them others up, but when that hair is out, it's undeniable. You know what I mean? It probably affects her with those colorist and texturist dudes because before they see that hair texture, it's giving something else. And once they see it, it's like, oh, wait, I thought you would. You know what I mean? You just black. Amen. But that's a beautiful thing to be. Let's get that started. 4C hair is gorgeous. We are exotic. We are the exotic ones, which is what makes it so crazy. That we literally look like nobody else on the planet. But they're considered exotic for something that's typical. What? It's like when you see those dark-skinned women with loose hair texture, but they're considered, oh, you're pretty for a dark-skinned girl. You're the standard. You're the exception. Because sometimes it's not even just about your skin. It's about what comes with the skin. The hair texture, you know what I'm saying? The facial features, are they big? Are they small? You know, there's a lot of things that go into colorism as an umbrella. Be proud of your blackness. You know what I'm saying? Don't hide it. You know, you too busy out here trying to be something you're not. And when I come on here and tell y'all, girls wear wigs and weaves all the time because they're uncomfortable in their skin. Is no, that's not true. We just want to do what we want with our hair. Yeah, okay. Nothing wrong with trying new stuff. But the people who can't even go out without the wigs and the weaves and all that stuff, I hear you. I see you.
I'm gonna do my best to articulate this as well as I can, the best that I can, because a lot of you natural girlies, y'all like to fight. I don't. Okay, I call police. Anyways, I'm gonna just tell y'all what I think about the whole light-skinned girl with the 4C hair. I understood where she was coming from, but let me explain why I understand. When it comes to social media, when it comes to Hollywood, the light-skinned women that are put out there, them women got a certain type of hair texture, and we gotta be honest about that. We got to be honest about that. And so I can understand her being like, well, growing up, I saw certain women that looked like me, but they didn't look like me. Like they had different hair texture than me. So I was feeling I wasn't beautiful. I felt like I didn't meet the standards because I'm looking at those women. That's like, for me personally, when it comes down to being a brown, dark-skinned woman, I don't look at a Zendaya when it comes to beauty standards because I don't look like her. We're nowhere near close to looking alike. I'm going to look at the women that look like me. And when I see those women do have 4C hair. So I see myself. I see that. And I'm like, oh, wow, the way that they're being loved and they're being treated, they are the beauty standards. So that means, man, I'm the beauty standard too. I got 4C hair, you know, underneath this wig. I got 4C hair. I'm brown, dark skin. I'm chocolate. Like, yes, I see myself where I can understand where she's growing up. And she's seeing people like Lauren London, right? She watching ATL. And Lauren London ain't got no 4C hair. You know what I'm saying? So I can understand her feeling like, okay, well, am I beautiful? Like, do I fit the standard? Because yes, light skin, but when it comes to your hair, that's not the type of hair I got. I don't have that. And I'm pretty sure she know other light skinned people that have 4C hair. I'm sure of that. But at the same time, I understand wanting that representation and feel like you're being represented. But when you're not seeing that, you question yourself. You're like, well, is this not considered beautiful? Because if it is, I would see more of people that look like me. So, I mean, that's just my take. That's just how I see it. I could be wrong. Hey, listen.
You're speaking for her.
Like I said, I don't like the fade, so please don't come for me. But that's just how I took the video. Personally, that's just how I took it.
I haven't seen a lot of discourse about light skins or mixed people with type 4 hair, type 4C hair, afro hair. And I just want to give my background. I am Dominican, I'm Afro-Dominican, but I'm also mixed Dominican, so I have a lot of white ancestry. I'm pretty much half and half. And as you can see, my natural hair is type 4. I would describe my curls as being 4A, 4B. I have never once felt like I didn't fit into a beauty standard. Again, this is just me speaking about it because of my proximity to whiteness, because of my light complexion. I have been told many times to people that my hair looks good on just me. Mind you, my natural hair is an afro. People have been wearing afros forever, but people have told me this hair looks good only on you. And I can't help but feel really icky when I hear that. When I first went natural, I had no idea what kind of curls I would have because I had a relaxer for so long, because my mom had a relaxer for so long, so no one really knew what was going on under this perm. So when an afro, a type 4 afro, tight curls came out of my head, I had to unpack why I was so hesitant to accept this part of me. And part of that, realizing that I was raised in a way where certain curls were good and other curls were bad. They were pelo malo. But that being said, I always felt like going natural for me was a lot easier than when my darker skin friends went natural, because I would not get called nappy head as much as they would. I would not get called all these like really weird icky things. Instead, I would get called things like exotic. Oh my god, shorty, what are you mixed with? That kind of vibe. I definitely do think skin complexion plays a factor into why some curls are considered good and some aren't. Also, doesn't help that when you look up curly hair tutorial on like YouTube or TikTok, what you get is a bunch of like racially ambiguous loose curls, tight curls, but never coils, never kinks, never afros. I feel like the beauty standard will always lean proximity to whiteness, so having lighter skin when you have a certain hair texture sort of makes life a little bit easier, because you don't get called a bunch of derogatory things like your darker skin counterparts do, and that's a sad fact. But yeah, we all gotta unpack like what curls are good and what curls are bad, because if it comes out of your head, how could it be bad? I feel like there's definitely a difference between like not liking the way you look with your natural hair and straight up hating your hair. I also find it kind of icky when women who look like me tell women who are darker what they should or shouldn't do with their hair, because it's like, I will never know what it's like to go through the world looking a certain way with this hair texture, so I'm not in a place to speak on it. That's all I'm gonna say.
I'm gonna get straight to the point with this one. First things first, I never once said that 4C hair was something that only brown skin and dark skin people have to deal with and should have to deal with. And I never once said that because I'm light skinned, I shouldn't have 4C hair. The entire point of my video was to say that society holds light skinned people to a certain beauty standard. And yes, that's an ignorant assumption that light skinned people should look a certain way. And I said and I meant light skin. I said light skin and not mixed, because there are light skinned people who are fully black, like myself, that have coily hair. Just like there are dark skinned and brown skinned people who have looser curl textures. Black people are not a monolith. Like, we don't all look one certain way. But there is an ignorant assumption by a lot of people that light skin and mixed are synonymous, and just because you're light skinned, you're mixed, when that's not the case. There are also mixed people that have coily hair. So again, I said what I meant and I meant what I said when I was saying specifically light skin beauty standard. Whether you want to acknowledge it or not, the beauty standard we have in the society of the United States is a Eurocentric beauty standard. So any features that anybody has that look more Eurocentric are going to be more socially desirable. But again, that's an ignorant assumption to make. I was solely speaking on the topic of texturism because I don't deal with colorism. I know that as a light-skinned woman, I benefit from colorism, but that doesn't mean that because I have 4C hair, I want to be more Eurocentric and da-da-da. I was solely speaking about my struggle with my hair and my insecurity because I know that there are a lot of other light-skinned women that also feel this way. Texturism, featurism, colorism, they can all exist in the same space without negating the experiences of other people. I completely acknowledge the fact that I know that I benefit from colorism, but again, that doesn't take away from the fact that I have insecurities. Like, being light-skinned doesn't mean I'm not gonna have insecurities. Maybe I could have worded what I was saying better, but the other problem here is that a lot of people heard me say as a light-skinned black woman and completely negated everything else that I had to say.
Please go ahead in the comment section and share your thought. Love to know what you think about this conversation down in the comment section. But as always, please keep it respectful. Here on this channel, we're allowed to disagree, but we do it in a respectful way. So go ahead, feel free and share your thought, okay? So for me personally, if you've been watching my channel for a long time, you know this is a kind of topic that I talk about a lot, about how colorism works in the black society and even generally in the world. And even now, let's even talk about texturism, because I feel like as a dark-skinned black woman who had like the the most core hardcore 4C hair, that's my hair. You guys have seen my hair's texture. I feel like I can, like, I understand that struggle that people think that type 4C hair is not attractive. And what the sister was saying, the original creator was saying, talking about how she knows she's a light skin, but her hair doesn't make her beautiful. I feel like a lot of 4C hair, anybody that owns 4C hair, whether you're light skin, dark skin, I feel like there's a type of insecurity that comes with it, or there's a type of, we know for sure that our hair is not acceptable by society or is not deemed fit as beautiful, and we know that. And I personally, as a young girl, it was something I struggled with as a child. I had relaxer all my life, like all my life, literally till I shave off my hair. And there's nothing wrong with having relaxer. In fact, I'm thinking of relaxing my hair again because it just helps to manage my hair. But the old confidence coming of where I can wear my hair the way you guys have seen me wear it in the bantu knot and all that. And I remember when I wanted to wear it on bantu, wear my bantu knot out, even to events, out, like really dress up a bantu. People look at me weird, like, oh, why are you making this type of hair? What's wrong with you? Because even in my society, in Nigeria, those type of look are not deemed attractive, are not deemed beautiful, are not even deemed classy for you to wear out. I'm talking about my bantu knot. You guys know the hair I talk about. And it's not deemed as something that you can wear out. It's something you can wear under a wig or something. But I was able to do that because I was able to build a confidence around me, myself, and just loving who I am and don't care, because that's where I'm at. A couple of years ago, I would care a lot. I would make a big fuss about my hair. I would care about how people perceive me, and which is a hard thing to do as a dark-skinned woman. I understand somebody will say, Destiny, you're not a dark-skinned black woman. You will also be considered like a light-skinned black woman. Whatever, like, I consider myself not the darkest of dark skin, but I consider it dark skin. And whether we want to accept it or not, generally, even in the black community, generally in the world, lighter skinned black women are considered more beauty standard than and more beautiful than darker skinned black women. And I feel like the darker you get, the more unattractive and non-society standard of beauty you become. Then the more your hair gets more kinky, the less attractive it, which is texturism that I'll talk about. And yes, there are a lot of people that want to change the texture of their hair because they feel uncomfortable and it's one of their insecurity. But there's also some people that will just do that because they want to. So when a lot of people sometimes want to talk about how white black women wear weave-ons and all that and don't like their skin and all that. I understand the fact that it can come from a place of insecurity of how society has looked at us and has addressed us, because yeah, we're considered not the beauty standard, but everybody want to have what we have. And this is where we see people go ahead to, like, some black women intentionally hate who they are, that they will go have designer baby. This is when they have biracial kids, they go be with a non-black man so that they can, even black men to do it, where they will intentionally go stay be with a non-black woman so that they can have a biracial kid. That's because there's a lot of hate that comes with it, and which for me personally, which is understandable. You need to really work on yourself and your self-esteem for you to get to that place where you don't hate who you are, especially as a black person and especially as a dark-skinned black person. So I get it. And this sister coming to talk about how her hair texture, I can understand why she will feel insecure, but also I hope and I like she said, she understand the privilege of her being light skinned. But also I just feel like, as much as we want to pull her down and say, oh yeah, she's talking down on people that has 4C and she feels like it's only darker skinned women that you have 4C. I get where our mindsets come from. I get where those people are coming from, because it is what society has. It's so like subconsciously built into us, because that's just it. Like, someone look at me straight up, they know directly that this hair I have on is not my hair, and that's because I'm a dark-skinned black woman. If this hair happens to be my hair, a lot of people thought, oh, you're so gorgeous, oh, you're so cute to be a black woman, all just because of my hair. But now that it's been obvious that it's not my hair, they're like, oh, she wear wigs. So I understand that insecurity and that thought where she feels like because she's light skinned she didn't have to deal with that 4C hair. Sometimes I feel like I don't want to have to deal with my 4C hair, and that's not coming from a place of insecurity. That just comes with the migraine I get from trying to manipulate my hair, combing my hair and all that. I just feel like, what can I do to just make my coils like looser and all that. And before now, it will come from a place of insecurity rather than me thinking of how I come from a place of insecurity. So I understand where she's coming from, and I don't I don't take it as a thing that is a negative. I just feel like it's a conversation we just need to continue having on how, as especially dark skin, I talk about it a lot, especially dark skin black women, when it comes to the hierarchy, we are at the bottom. So when I see dark skin black women come for each other, sometimes I'm just like, girl, can you chill out? Because as much as we're all black women, as much as we're all women, there's always an hierarchy and it stands, and there's always a standard of beauty, even though we want to be delulu about it, to say, you know what, I don't see color and all that. The truth is that in reality, and how the world and society treat you, they treat you based on the color of your gender, the color of your skin, the texture of who you are, your hair, your eye color and all that, your features and all that. You've been treated differently, and that's why we see people that have come to talk about how people treated them differently when they bleached their skin, how people treated them differently when they have a blowout, how people treated them differently when they lose weight. The truth is that society will treat you different based on how you look, and it's just fact. Go on and share your thoughts. Share this video with somebody that you want to be part of the conversation, because that's what we do here. We have banging conversation. So go on and share this video. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, smash the like button, because this helps YouTube to show my content for more people to see, and that will be you supporting this channel and this girl here. So go on and do that. Subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Deuces.